the most southerly extent of South America. 2 days at least by plane, bus, and or boat from any metropolitan zone in the Americas. Its remoteness and subpolar weather distinguish our adventure here. Its otherworldly forests and extensive zones of tundra and rock are where wind shapes everything: landforms, vegetation, and legends. On Easter Day, the walking begins from the village of Puerto Williams. It is an outpost for the Chilean Navy in the country's Antarctic territory. Population 2,200. Snow has delayed our departure on this 5-day backpacking circuit in one of the most remote regions of the country. In recent days, weather has alternated between sun and rain squalls. We enter this rugged circuit by the valley of the Rio Robalo, avoiding the normal trail on Cerro Bandera above, where dangerous snow still clings. At Lago Robalo, the lakeshore opens and the snow becomes deeper. The 2 feral dogs turn back after they had been leading us through miles of swamp and windfall. Isolation is palpable. Our stops are frequent to consult the map to find the next marker. This routine would repeat many times over coming days. Also, markers are numbered and correspond to a companion guidebook with distance, elevation, and descriptions. It would be a Bible for these 5 days of trackless, treeless travel, with many cols to cross and countless alpine lakes to pass around. On this first night, we dig out flat zones for 2 tents in the snow on the shore of Laguna del Salto, Waterfall Lake. It's important to seek protection from the violent wind that can abruptly rise night or day. We anchor tent stays with heavy rocks we've uncovered. In waning light, we sponge off by the lake, then boil lake water for dinner, and refill bottles. Cold drives us into sleeping bags by 7. Day 2 is long, climbing steeply at first, to eventually pierce the jagged spine that is the mountain chain of Los Dientes, the fangs of Navarino Island. From there, to gain its backside. This region is a treasure of craggy terrain, where valley bottoms are like mountain tops. Certain plant life is unique and adapted to the extremely harsh conditions. Fortunately, we see none of that weather, though cold descends like weight once shadows lengthen and night falls. Camping this second night is with expansive views south to Wollaston Island and Cape Horn. Day 3 is the climb to Paso Ventaron, Pass of Winds, at 2,250 feet. From there, we overlook a jigsaw puzzle of lakes, surrounded by chunky undulations of striated mountains. The descent is followed by a long traverse through impenetrable walls of the indigenous evergreen beach to reach Paso Garrico, and then Laguna Hermosa, lovely lake, reflecting the sun blindingly. We camp on Hammer Lake, Laguna Martillo, searching for an hour for protected and flat sites. We opt at last for flat with the risk of exposure to wind, as times stay calm. The atmosphere of this venerable place at every step is enhanced by the challenge of route finding in snow. It binds the team with regular alternation of the exhausting task of trail breaking. In this terrain of snow-covered boulders, we call it ankle roulette. We see the first of other backpackers, a group of young, strong Czechs. They pass and ask, "How many days?" They comment on the good track they had followed. We think about that. Paso, Virginia, the last high country of the circuit, is raked by clouds. We start across the 1.5-mile plateau of this broad shoulder, seeing occasional tracks from the Czechs. The blessing comes full circle. The descent route comes to view partway down. We see we are saved from the real hazard of this gulf of slides by how the wind has swept away most of the snow. On lower ground, we encounter the scariest moment in a zone of snow slippage and mudslides. The grass makes it difficult to kick in. In the safety of forest again, trail spurs appear, disappear. The ground is soggy, like a steep bog. We reach camp, our last, and the air feels warmer. The ground is snow-free, and tall beech provides shelter. The final day is a series of flooded zones, lakes and streams altered by the unnaturally destructive effects of beaver dams. This vermin is a non-native of Tierra del Fuego, imported in the 1800s for fur trapping. The results? Even a couple of miles of travel takes more than an hour. Lower down, we reach horse pasture and views of Beagle Sound. And for the final few miles, the road, where the only vehicle we see, it turns out, was sent by the hostel where we stay the night.